What's up, everybody? My name is Ryan Turford, and welcome to yet another Video Games Monthly unboxing for the month of September. Now, for those of you at home who haven't seen one of these unboxings before or don't know exactly what Video Games Monthly is, it is a monthly subscription service for retro video games where essentially you tell them the consoles you own. You tell them the consoles you want to collect for. You tell them the games you already own already so they don't send you duplicates, and you can sign up for plans that give you 3, 4, 5, or in this case, 10 games, and they will send them to your door every single month. So if you want to check them out, check out their website, videogamesmonthly.com. I've left a link for it in the description of this video, so you can click on it there as well. So what I've decided to do this month is a little bit different than last month. So I've decided, after careful consideration, after getting a lot of really good portable games from the service, I've decided for the time being, I'm not really collecting portable games. So I'm mostly focusing on home consoles this time around, except for the Game Gear. The Game Gear is the only portable console that's in here, so we might get some Game Gear games. So the consoles that can be in this box are Sega Master System, Sega Game Gear, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, NES, N64, and GameCube, and Dreamcast. And I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's all of them. It's a lot of consoles, but when you do the 10-pack, they make you do four systems just to make sure, hey, there's only so many NES games, for example, they can send you, or if you just select the Dreamcast, it's like they're going to run out of games quickly. So that's there in that case. And again, you can actually get games all the way up to consoles released in the 2000s, like the Xbox 360 and PS3 if you want. So that's really cool. In fact, I just think they just added Wii U recently, which is really cool. So let's get into this. Let's see what we got from this month's box. I will do my best to go as blind as possible while also not showing y'all. So every single month, Video Games Monthly, of course, likes to throw in a little toy or accessory or some kind of Video Games Monthly branded thing. Last month, we had a beer koozie. This month, we've got Video Games Monthly branded sunglasses. Check these out. These are hip. They're happening. They totally say Video Games Monthly on the back, although it'll be hard to see from here. In fact, I'll just throw on some sweet shades. Oh, yeah. I can't even put sunglasses on properly. This is great. I haven't worn sunglasses in so long. It's so cool. So this is actually really cool. It's kind of fitting too, because I mean, we've had a super hot summer and the summer's finally over. So we've got our sunglasses to run around. So I'm going to do this first before we get to the cards, because it doesn't look like, I think the cards are probably underneath all the games from the sounds of it. And we've got a box game here, so it's probably GameCube, because again, it's the only one that would be in a slipcase here. So we've got Shonen Jump's Naruto Clash of Ninja. So this is actually a 3D fighting game in the Naruto franchise, where basically this takes place within the first arc and a half. I think this is the Zabuza arc, and as well as a little bit of the Chunin exam arc, although I don't know how far that goes into it, because this game came out around when the English dub just first started here in North America. In fact, this game's a GameCube exclusive, which is pretty cool. And I've seen a lot of people get this in their box as well, so I kind of figured it'd be coming eventually. I'm actually a really big Naruto fan anyway, so it's kind of cool to actually get that, especially because I've never played it. I've mostly played the Ultimate Storm and Ultimate Ninja Storm games both on PS2 and then PS3 and PS4, but I've never actually played Clash of Ninja, so I'm excited to check that out. So next up, we got a Game Gear game. We got Sonic the Hedgehog 2. All right. So this is actually the fun fact about Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Game Gear, and this is actually true for a lot of Game Gear games. The Game Gear is basically a reskin Master System. So getting Game Gear games, the main reason why I wanted to collect them, because I only have one Game Gear game and 0 Master System games, is you get a lot of Master System games this way. So Sonic the Hedgehog 2, again, very different from the Genesis version, completely different levels, and it was a lot of fun when I played it back in the day, because I used to own this game back when I used to actually have a Game Gear. Now I just play with the Game Gear adapter on the Retron 5, because, again, I want to get a Game Gear eventually, but I haven't gone out and got another one yet. So it's pretty cool. That's a good one. Now, I should mention before we go any further, because I forgot to mention this before, Video Games Monthly does offer a wish list option. It's not on the normal website. All you have to do is email the very, very friendly support staff at Video Games Monthly with your wish list, and they'll actually provide you a wish, try and get games on your wish list. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was one of my games on my wish list because it's a game that I've seen a lot of other Video Games Monthly members get. And it's a game I've wanted to buy for a while, but I was like, do I really want to go all the way to the store and buy Sonic the Hedgehog 2, especially because on Game Gear, especially because they're not always in stock, and I don't want to order one from eBay, so this is the best way to do that. So next up, we've got a disc-based game that's not in its normal case. So we got a GameCube game, Sonic Mega Collection. This is pretty awesome. This, of course, is the first 4 Sonic the Hedgehog games. So this is pretty cool. It would have been awesome to have the case for this, but luckily I have a pretty handy workaround for that. I can actually go and get a case for this and no problem. So Sonic Mega Collection, from what I hear, is actually a pretty good collection of the Sonic games. So it's cool to actually have this in the collection. And yeah, so I'll have to check that out. Or you're watching videos of me checking this out. So there you go. You've already seen me check it out. So we got another game, another disc-based game that's not in a case. Ooh. One of my guilty pleasure games, The Sims. This is the GameCube version of The Sims. I don't actually know too much about the GameCube version of the Sims and how close that is to the original Sims. This was back when EA was sort of like trying to get The Sims onto consoles, and it worked for a while. In fact, they did a lot of Sims releases throughout the console lifecycle. They had the Herbs Sims in the City, for example, is another Sims game. So yeah, this is actually pretty cool to have, especially because, again, this is the awesome thing about Video Games Monthly. Again, this is the type of game I wouldn't normally go to the store and buy or scope out on eBay, but this is still probably a really fun game, especially because I actually really like The Sims, and I know a lot of people will probably give me crap for it in the comments, but yeah, The Sims is actually a pretty fun game. And of course, I knocked the games over. All right, so these aren't going to stand up that well, so let's stand these back up. Oh, man. Just these just random jewel cases just aren't good enough. All right, so I think we've got another jewel case. We've got Madagascar, based off the hit movie Madagascar. This is very similar to last month, I believe we got Happy Feet. And then this is also on the GameCube. I believe it has the voice actors from the movie. I don't even know what kind of game Madagascar is, which is interesting. And I've never seen the movie either, because again, I think I was like a little bit older when that came out, and I wasn't really watching a lot of animated movies. And I still really don't watch a lot of like Pixar animated movies or DreamWorks or any of those movies. So I'm interested to check this out and see what this actually is. And again, you're watching me play it now, and you want to see if I'm really terrible at it or if it's not a great game or what have you. So now it feels like we're in cartridge territory, ladies and gentlemen. But again, I won't spoil what type of cartridges we got. So we got Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures. So if you've ever wanted a point-and-click adventure starring Pac-Man, Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures is what you want. The label's a little bit worn, but that's okay. Again, it's tough to get really good labels for old games like this, especially in bulk, so I can totally understand that. Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures, of course, not like the original Pac-Man at all. And again, the comment I made about it being a point-and-click adventure is pretty much true. It is pretty much a point-and-click adventure game. But it's still interesting to add to my collection. I don't know how much I'm going to play it, but it's still really cool to actually see it. So let's move on. We've got a Sega Genesis game now. We got F-15 Strike Eagle 2. This is from Microprose. I'm guessing that this is actually a flight simulation game and not something like Afterburner or an arcadey flight simulator. And this has got the old school Genesis labeling, and I literally know nothing about this game, and then you're watching me play it here, and I won't dive too far into it just because I really don't know too much about it. And plus, we can keep the box moving. So next up, we got another Genesis game. Ooh, this is a game I haven't played in a very long time. This is Beavis and Butthead on the Sega Genesis. I actually The way I played this, first of all, for those who don't know, I think I've talked about it in one of these videos before. Is back in the day, there was a service called Sega Channel, which was available through your cable provider. It's very similar to the Xbox Game Pass now, where essentially you subscribed monthly to the service. And basically, they gave you a special cartridge for your Genesis that allowed you to download basically the ROM of a game to your Genesis to the special cartridge through your cable line, and it would allow you to play Genesis games. And Beavis and Butthead was one of those games on the Genesis, and I remember it being a lot of fun. But I haven't played this game in years, and I've seen a couple other people get this in their box as well. So I do know that it is a typical Video Games Monthly get. So either way, I'm excited to play that again. And again, you've been seeing me play it. So there you go. Next up, we got an NES game. We got RC Pro-Am. All right. So this is actually from Rare, makers of many games, including Battletoads and Perfect Dark and GoldenEye and Banjo-Kazooie. RC Pro-Am is a top-down racing game where you race like little remote-controlled cars. And it was a really interesting premise at the time because it was almost like just racing cars in your backyard. The handling, of course, has like the game I don't think really holds up that well today because this was part of Rare Replay. If you picked up Rare Replay on the Xbox One, but I still think it's probably a really fun cartridge to have and go back to. And again, I have nostalgia for this card as well because my cousin, I used to go over to his house all the time, my cousin Andrew, to play NES games all the time, and this was one of the games he had. So we used to actually play a lot of RC Pro-Am back in the day. The other game we used to play a lot, of course, Final Fantasy, the original Final Fantasy, but it's cool to actually have that in my collection again. So it feels like we got another NES game. This one is Golf. So this is the classic black box cover for Golf. Very old school game. I believe this was actually an NES launch game. Again, I haven't played this game. Oh man, it's been a long time since I've played Golf on the NES. First of all, fun fact about the NES, not the NES, about Golf. This was actually included in the Nintendo Switch's architecture. Basically, it's system architecture as a tribute to Satoru Iwata, basically, because this is one of the first games he worked on for Nintendo. So it's actually really cool to have Golf. Again, I don't know how well it holds up today, because again, I haven't played Golf in forever, and I just can't. This is the first video where I've actually knocked over games, so this is actually a fun thing for me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's one more game in here at least. So we've definitely gotten at least one extra game, and it is an NES game. Ooh, yes! So another black box title, and we've got the 5-screw variant of this, because there's actually 3 screw variants and 5 screw variants of each of the older NES games. We've got Excite Bike. So Excite Bike, you basically drive down the road. One of the cool things about Excite Bike is you can actually build your own tracks, which we used to do a lot, but you couldn't turn your console off. So you basically would like have Excite Bike in your NES console permanently until, like, basically just keeping your console on so you don't lose your tracks. There was actually the Famicom Disk System version of this allowed you to actually save the tracks to the floppy disk, so you didn't actually lose the tracks you created. In fact, that's why they actually had it in this version of it. But yeah, Excite Bike's a really fun game. Again, it's a lot of Nintendo nostalgia for me, especially because again, this is another game we used to play a lot as well when I was a kid, and it's a lot of fun. It's still really fun to play today. So I think that's everything in the box. That is everything. Oddly enough, we didn't get any cards. Like, there was no. I'm amazed because we didn't get a 1-up card or a card saying that to renew your library. So I can't point those out to you. But those are actually cards that normally come in the box as well. It might be in the bag as well. I'll have to go check that afterwards. But that's okay. The main thing is we did definitely get a 1-up because there are 11 games here instead of 10, which is always awesome. This is something that Video Games Monthly does all the time, where even though I'm subscribed to 10 games, sometimes they'll throw in an extra game or two. Like last month, we actually got 2 extra games, which is pretty sweet. So there you go. That's everything in this month's Video Games Monthly. Overall, a pretty good haul. Again, a lot of stuff that I haven't played in a long time or I don't know anything about, which is perfect. The only game I've really played extensively is Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and then RC Pro Am and Excitebike, like we mentioned. But I mean, like F-15 Strike Eagle 2, I've never played that. I don't even know how that works. So let me know in the comments below what you think the best game I got in this collection is. If you have any questions about Video Games Monthly, hit me up as well. Or you can hit them up at info@videogamesmonthly.com as well. Their website, videogamesmonthly.com as well, if you want to check out the service. Of course, this isn't a sponsored video or anything like that. I just really like the service and I want people to check them out. So anyways, thank you very much for watching this unboxing video. You can hit me up on Twitter at Ryan Turford. That's TURFORD. You can also find the Game Moose podcast every single Monday at noon Eastern Standard Time over on game-moose.com, which, by the way, is our website where you may be watching this video now. You can also hit us up on Twitter at game_moose_cast, on Facebook at facebook.com/Game Moose Podcast, and podcast services around the globe. Anyways, thank you very much for checking this out, and I will see you next month for another Video Games Monthly unboxing.